Hello, welcome to my analysis of the Shmup game. Uh, Hello, welcome to my analysis of the Shmup game I've made over the last few weeks. I aimed for a whimsical, goofy-looking type of game that focuses on high-speed action and precise movement, making use of the wide arena as we'll see later. Though it's intended to be an endless cycle, I wanted to begin with some simple enemy patterns to get the player accustomed to moving around with the quick controls. I've included debanking by simply setting the pawn's rotation to left and right upon receiving input, and I've added invisible walls on the edges to prevent the player from escaping it. But the wall also doubles as a kill wall for any bullets passing through it or any enemies passing through it. This is to prevent overloading the system by having all these enemies and bullets still loaded in while they're not on screen. The health system can be seen on the left side with all the disappearing hearts representing how much health you have left. And on the right you have the score that's going to be currently updated with every enemy you destroy. Once the first big enemy is defeated, the true endless waves will begin. These come in periodically, depending on the player's score to rank up the difficulty, and this is inspired by a certain game I found in my previous assignment. At certain score thresholds, in this case the first one will be at 3200, the player will get more upgrades, like more bullets, more power-ups, or speed boosts. That little sound will signify that a boost has been added. In this case, you'll be getting more bullets. The UI will show 4 icons at the moment, only one is available currently, that is the dash. I do plan on adding more, such as a deployable shield, or a bullet that explodes after a short delay and groups enemies together with gravitational pull. I also want to add a penalty for dying, as this is an endless game. The penalty would be to reduce your score by a significant amount and reduce your rank. I also want to add more score thresholds later on, with more different enemies that will shoot different types of bullets, maybe more bullets or in different patterns, or having enemies that move in certain patterns. All the enemies will come from the same pack, as this will create more consistency throughout the level. Although the particles do clash with that a little bit, I do plan on smoothing it out later on. I also want to make the player movement a little smoother to ensure that moving through this open space won't be a tedious chore or it won't be difficult, as the difficulty should come in learning how to use this movement to avoid the bullets properly. The only major bug I found is that towards the left and right walls, if the player is dashing right next to one of them, they can clip out of bounds. This is because to dash, I temporarily turn off player collision, and in doing so, they end up passing through the wall. That's all for me for now. No, I don't like that. Why is it so hard? I'm not satisfied with any of this. Hello, welcome to my analysis of the shmup game I've made over the last few weeks. I aimed for a whimsical, goofy-looking type of game that focuses on high-speed action and precise movement, making use of the wide arena. Though intended to be an endless cycle, I wanted to begin with some enemy patterns to get the player accustomed to moving with this quick control scheme. I've added banking by simply setting the rotation on the pawn left and right tilted slightly to show the motion. I've also added walls on the bottom, left, right, and top of the screen to prevent the player from escaping the screen. This also serves to destroy any bullets or enemies passing through them, so to prevent them from staying loaded once they've left the screen. The health system can be seen on the left side of the screen, with every heart lost representing 1 damage point taken, and the score will be on the right side, updating frequently as you defeat more enemies. Once the first major enemy is defeated, the endless waves will truly begin. These will come periodically, depending on the player's score to rank up the difficulty. At certain score thresholds, the player will get upgrades like more bullets, more power-ups, and more difficult enemies to play with. The first threshold will be at 3200, and a little sound will signify the change of a level. In this case, we get more bullets. Though the UI shows 4 icons, only one of them is available right now, which is the dash button. More are to come, such as deployable shield, a bullet that explodes after a short delay, and groups enemies together with a gravitational pull. I also want to add more score thresholds with harder enemies that will shoot more often, come from the side and the bottom of the screen as well, or move and shoot in varying patterns. Because this is endless, I also plan to add a penalty for dying, such as losing a chunk of your score and sending you back to a previous score threshold. I also want to include more variation in the enemy bullets themselves, such as having the bullets themselves come in patterns, or having more like the big orbs on the screen that will block player movement. Because of these variations, I wanted to include the dash first, because as you dash, you also gain a brief period of invincibility. This will let you move through the arena quickly when there are more enemies than you can currently handle. I also added a brief invincibility after getting damaged, for a 1.2 second invincibility in order to prevent players from getting bombarded by attacks without any chance of recovering. All the enemies come from the same pack so that they keep consistency throughout the level, though the particle effects do clash with that a little bit. I aim to create more consistency with the effects in later builds by learning how Niagara effects work. I also want to smooth out the movement system to ensure that the open space is used properly with the player's speed. The difficulty should not be in controlling the player, but in learning how to maneuver around your environment. The only major bug I found is that because of the dash, the player collisions are temporarily turned off, and if used against one of the walls, can have the player clip outside. Other than that, there are no major game-breaking bugs that I found, and any smaller bugs are yet to be unseen. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm fine with that one.